Hi there, I'm Sarah Breyer at Showgirl Coaching. Today's video is about self-employed confidence. In a crisis, in a pandemic, any of these sorts of global economic situations, what we find is that a staggering amount of women start their own businesses. I'm one of them. And there are businesses from services to people creating things, and there's a really wide range. You will have seen a lot of them in Facebook groups over Christmas, people creating things to sell and really going for it. But what I also see are women lacking in confidence. They're in their own product or their own service, they're not really too sure what to do next. Some of these businesses don't really have a process that they're adhering to demonstrate to themselves and to others that they are making progress. And it's also not showing them where issues lie. So I've got some tips to help gain that self-employed confidence. Because what we don't want is, we don't want failures. We want successful, fantastic, entrepreneurial women that are making waves, earning themselves a living, doing the things that they love. But some of them are not being prepared. So if this is you, maybe just take some of these tips and see whether it can make a difference for you. So number one is preparing for the worst. So we're not starting on a gloomy note, but it's practical. If you have quit your job and you've got no savings, the pressure on you is going to mount really quickly. We know that, right? You'll lose confidence fast because any new venture does take time. So give yourself enough space to succeed and enough space to fail. Because through every challenge, through every failure, you will learn something that will make you better and will make it better next time. So you need to give yourself enough time and enough space to do that. If you can give yourself 6 months before you need to find a job, or a year before you need to find a proper job, then give yourself that time so you can throw everything that you've got at it. What else can you do? Can you get yourself a part-time job, or, you know, make something that maybe doesn't fill you with the most joy, but it keeps the money coming in? You know, if you really love making bespoke wedding cakes and that's your thing, well, you know, these wedding cakes are probably not going to be as big and as amazing at the moment because weddings are a lot smaller. But what else can you do to really flex in the tough times, just to try and support your business to keep you going a little bit longer? Measure everything. You'll see everywhere that I write, read, speak, you cannot improve what you cannot measure. Have a weekly meeting with yourself. For me, I have a meeting with myself every Saturday morning or Friday night, depending on if I can cope with it or not. And I go through a set of figures. These figures have evolved through the months. So they are how many followers I've got on certain platforms, how many subscribers, how many posts that I've made, so I can see what the difference is. The weeks where I don't make many posts and I'm busy with other things that are not Showgirl, you can see that in the following week's figures, how many bookings that are made, how many people come to my workshops. You can see those things moving. And then you can do what you do differently. And at the end of the month, have a meeting with yourself, just as I do, and I look at what I could have done better last month. How could I have moved the dial a little bit more? What did I do that was a complete waste of time? So that I'm acknowledging and not doing those things again and doing more of the things that are going to make a difference. The third thing is have someone to talk to. It's really lonely being a self-employed sole trader on your own in a pandemic, stuck at home. It's lonely, we know that. That's why I'm talking to you guys, because I've got no one else to talk to. There are plenty of networking groups on Facebook and on LinkedIn. You can get dragged into scrolling all day, don't do that, but find a group of people that you like to connect with. Find a friend or a relative that gets it. Get a coach, go to showgirlcoaching.com and see if I'm going to be able to help you. Find somebody to bounce ideas off. and be able to say things out loud and find a sounding board. You know, a great idea to you where you've been sat on your own thinking about it all day might just need a little bit of tweaking that somebody else might be able to help you with, whether they're really experienced in what you do or not. They're a person with a point of view. Don't wait for perfection. Just launch it. If you spend all of your time tinkering with the logo, getting the colour scheme right, you're not launching your business. You need to just get it out there. It will take time, and you will need to faff about with things to make them better, and you'll get feedback from your customers, which then you'll have to tinker with it even more. It's never going to be perfect. So just launch. For God's sake, just launch. You can do it. You are good enough. I promise you, it is good enough. And while you're spending all that time procrastinating, people aren't seeing what you're capable of. So just take anything from this video, just launch. You can do it. Make time to learn is the fifth part. Whether it is a networking group, whether it is a book, whether it's something that's going on in your local area, just step outside your normal space and learn something. It will help your business. Which will help you expand eventually. It will give you ideas, and it will give you a chance not to be stuck with the same thought process, with the same things going on. Read about someone that does things slightly differently. There's a great app called Blinkist, which has got loads of these sort of self-help books, you know, the books that are like this thick that you'll never have time to read, but it gives you a 15-minute synopsis of that book. So there's some really great tips and really great ideas that you can soak up really, really quickly without having to read the books if you don't have time for them. They do a free one every single day, or you can subscribe for the whole year, but they do free ones every single day that you can just pick up, read it before you start your day, and then at least have a little bit of, have done a little bit of learning for that day. Walk the talk. So I don't believe in faking confidence, but you have to act positively to have positive reactions. So, you know, do you need to get dressed in the morning to do the thing that you're going to do with your business? You might not need to, but you should. You should, if you wear makeup, put makeup on. If you do something with your hair, do something with your hair. Set yourself some service level agreements. So when you're in a corporate business, you might have, you know, these targets that you have every day. And why don't you set yourself some service level agreements on how often you're going to check your email? I'm going to check my email 3 times a day so that go back to my customers really quickly, and really, really stick to them. Talk about your business. Talk to people online, talk to people in the street, wherever you can. Talk about how great your business is and what you've started doing. If you don't believe in it and you're not confident in it, other people won't be either. And when you talk about it, people like to listen and they like to understand what else you're doing, and people like to help other people. If you're a nice local business that people don't know about, people are desperate to shop locally at the moment. Really harness that. And don't talk negatively about it when you're walking the talk. Don't say, I just run a card making business. It's not confident, it's not inspiring. You don't just do anything. You are an amazing card creating machine. You talk about what you create. Think about creating an elevator pitch. You know, I run a sustainable card making business which is 100% recycled, using images of farm animals, and I donate 5% to charity. Oh, and I've got some in my bag if you'd like one. You know, talk up your own business. So for the self-employed people out there that are just starting their new business, that are starting their new businesses, that are wanting to create a living out of something that they love, think about what you're doing, how you're going to do it, and think about it as a business, not just a hobby. Moving from hobby to business is really important. Get a coach, talk to somebody, take all of these tips on board, and don't wait for perfection, just launch. No one's perfect, I trust you. Trust me, it never will be. If you need some help, you want to have a chat about coaching, how it might be helpful for you, whether it's helpful for you, head over to showgirlcoaching.com. I've got some blogs on there with some interesting information, as well as the ability to subscribe to my website, which gives you a opportunity to win a gift box every month, but also to book a free discovery session with me, just to figure out whether it is right for you. So good luck. Put your comments below. Post your companies, your new companies down below. Subscribe to my channel. Look at my other videos, and I will see you next time. Thanks very much. Bye.